Over to you.
Let me finish my speech and then I'll show you. Dream Guru. It sounds like an honor, like a title. For the next 5 to 7 minutes, I'm going to be your Dream Guru, and we are going to unravel the meaning of this mysterious phenomenon called dreams. Is there anybody here today who can say that they've never had any bizarre dream? Probably none. But why are dreams so weird, so bizarre? Our dreams could be so, ranging in a variety that some dreams we would die to make them come true, while others we'd be dead if they come true. Our dreams could be like we would be in the arms of a loved one, floating in the clouds above Eiffel Tower, looking down, trying to order a piano over Pinterest. Or we could dream of falling off a cliff into our high school classroom, only to be punished for dirty shoes by our mother, who suddenly transforms into the jailer of the prison. Dreams can take any form based on what is happening in their subconscious mind. But what is the real purpose of these dreams? Could they be giving us a message? Could they be predicting our future? Could they be divulging dark and deep secrets about our own self? There could be a few explanations or a few theories that I would like to lay down. The first theory, which was promulgated by the 20th century psychoanalyst Dr. Sigmund Freud, says that dreams are a reflection of our hidden desires and insecurities. I remember in my childhood, I had a recurring dream of a herd of goats galloping over my body, and although I was in tremendous pain, I could not scream out loud. In hindsight, I see that that could be a reflection of the stammer that I had and also the fear of public speaking that I had. Over the years, as I gained more confidence of public speaking and I lost my stammer, surprisingly, that nightmare of the herd of goats also disappeared. One very common dream that most of us have, especially when one is thirsty or needs to use the bathroom while one is asleep, is that the dream creates these interesting cinematic circumstances where one is trying to a way to relieve oneself. One could be finding himself trekking in the middle of a desert or running a marathon or under dire circumstances in the middle of a battlefield. The dream creates these harrowing scenarios until finally one wakes up and uses the bathroom. The second theory says that our inner psyche uses dreams to give us a message. The Swiss psychoanalyst Carl Jung said that our dreams are self-regulatory mechanisms whereby we are trying to understand certain imbalances in our lives. Even historically, dreams have been responsible for building of large cities and even for battles that have been fought. We have heard of temples being built by kings who had a dream of a certain god who came and told him that you have to build a temple at so and so place. In the 2010 science fiction movie Inception, the writer-director Christopher Nolan tries to show us how an idea, if planted deep within our subconscious, can manifest itself and make us act upon it and also take very important life decisions. One very common dream that most people have is of death. Death could be of oneself or of somebody that we love. However, it doesn't mean that somebody is going to die for sure, or not even that we wish that certain person to die. Dr. Meyer Krieger of Yale Medicine tells us that death implies a culmination of a certain life activity. For example, if I'm trying to quit smoking, or if I'm trying to move cities or having a big career change, I could probably see death in my dreams. The third and the most traditional theory of dreams is that dreams also predict our future. In the Brahma Vaivarta Purana, Lord Krishna tries to find the meaning of dreams, and he also classifies dreams into auspicious and inauspicious dreams. For example, when a person dreams of having panchamrita, the 5 food items of curd, milk, ghee, honey, and sugar, from a lotus leaf, that person is definitely going to be a king. On the other hand, if he sees that the same 5 food items are being anointed on his body, it could mean that he is going through insufferable pain. Lord Krishna also said in the same Purana that the dreams that we see almost when we are waking up do come true. Have you heard of this myth? I'm sure most of you must have heard of this. And people say that, okay, you just woke up when you saw that dream, it's going to come true. But do you really think it is a myth? Modern sleep researchers have found out that the dreams that we remember vividly happen during a part of our sleep which is called REM. REM stands for rapid eye movement. And rapid eye movement happens for almost 2 hours during our 8-hour normal sleep. And during these 2 hours, the memory cells in our brains are quite active. And so whatever we dream, we tend to remember those, although for a very small duration of time. When we remember those dreams, there is a possibility that we deliberately act upon those and see that those dreams come to fruition. So there's a fair chance that our dreams would come true. Maybe it is not a myth after all. To sum up, dreams could be telling us about our future. They could be giving us a message. They could be telling us about our inner subconscious. They could be pointing us towards certain imbalances in our lives and showing us a way to move forward. As your dream guru, I would request you to next time that you dream, try to analyze your dream and find out if your dreams are actually trying to tell you something or giving you a message. Sleep over it. Thank you, Toastmaster.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Priyam. That was a way better explanation of dream that you offered